All right, so the question today is, should you work for an agency or should you work as a full-time staff contracted to work for a company or for an organization here in the UK? This is the question I keep getting because people keep asking, especially people who are planning to move to UK, they keep asking whether to be working for an agency or to be working for a company as a fully contracted staff. Meanwhile, it all depends on your circumstances or your availability. Even if you are a student, a dependent, and you are here as someone who got an employment in this country, though basically, if you are fully employed in the UK, it's a 40 hours contract or 35 hours contract in a week. So that aside, for your dependent or you arrived in the UK as a student and you are concerned about which of this kind of job should you be doing, pay as you go job, which is the agency job, or should you get a full-time employment with an organization? This is what I am here today for us to discuss. Meanwhile, you are most welcome to my channel. My name is Chinyere Ojike and I am a mom vlogger here in the UK. I make videos about UK tips, everything you need to know about UK. Please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section and I would make a video in response to that or reply to you directly in the comment section. Meanwhile, follow me on my Instagram and ask your questions there. I can also answer you directly over there. And do not forget to subscribe to this channel, like this very video, and drop your questions. Thanks to all of you who always come back to watch my content. So for better and clearer understanding of this very topic, we will be doing a kind of comparison, bringing out the variations, merits and demerits of working for an agency and also working a full-time job in a defined place. Meanwhile, the first point we shall be looking at is the pay rates. An agency has its own pay rate for its staff. If you are working for an agency, you are referred to as a worker or agency staff. But if you have a full-time employment, they call you employee in this very part of the world. So basically, we are going to be comparing the pay rates. If you are working for an agency, obviously everybody knows it, that the pay rate you get in working for an agency is much, much higher compared to someone who is doing a full-time job. Take, for instance, an agency would pay you about 12 to 15 pounds per hour, while your company, where you are doing a full-time employment, you might get something less than 10 pounds per hour. This is just an example, But bear in mind that agencies, they pay higher than full-time contracts. We will be talking about why you get paid lesser working as a full-time staff in a company and why agencies own is also higher. So work location is the next point. Yes, if you are an agency staff working for an agency, possibly one or two agencies, definitely bear in mind that you do not have a definite work location. Your work location is not defined. They can send you to Lagos tomorrow and the next day agency is sending you to Abuja. And for instance, they can send you to South Africa today and the next one they are sending you to Germany, Japan to go cover a shift for them. So working for an agency, you do not have a definite or a defined work location. But if you are a full staff working for an organization or a company, bear in mind that you are always going in there to work one particular place. You're always coming into this very house for your shift. So the next one is PWS, people with support, clients, residents, service users, patients, customers, as the case may be, So if you are working for an agency, for instance, bear in mind that you don't have a definite service users. You don't have a defined patient to look after, because today when you go to House A, depending on the kind of care job you do, because you have support work, we have care assistant job, depending on the type you are doing, you probably would work with children today in a different location. Tomorrow you get contracted again to go to a different place to work. You might be working with elderly patients in that home, and they send you to a different place. It could be young people who have vulnerable behaviors, so it's quite different. But if you are a care worker in a particular home, that is a fully contracted healthcare assistant working for a particular company, that means you are going into a particular home. You will always be seeing the same patients over and over again. Each time you go, if you're working for Mark, each time you go in there, if you're looking after Mark, Matthew, Peter, and Paul, these are always the people you would be seeing in there. But as an agency worker, you would see Mark today. Tomorrow, you are going to see Jerome. Next tomorrow, you are going to see Rufus, Catherine, Rofia, and different sort of people. So this is another variation between working for an agency and also doing a full-time job. The next point is sick leave, annual leave. Yes, this is why agencies' pay rate varies from that of a full-time employment. So if you are working for an agency, you honestly do not enjoy some of these benefits like having an annual leave. If you are on holiday, you are on your own. If you are sick, you take care of yourself. Nobody is paying you when you are sick. You cannot go to work. But as a full-time employer to an organization, if you are entitled to 5 weeks annual leave here in the UK. Last week, I didn't work. Yeah, I only work twice a week, though I am a full-time employee in my company where I work. Last week, I didn't go to work, but guess what? They're going to pay me for the 2 days I didn't go to work. The previous 3 weeks, I didn't go to work. I had an annual leave, and I got paid for it because I am a fully contracted staff in the assisted living home where I work as a support worker. But with an agency staff, it's automatically different. Nobody pays you if you are sick. This is just another basic difference between you working for an agency and doing a full-time job. Now, if you are doing a full-time job, be rest assured that if you are pregnant and you put to bed, in fact, you are getting paid for 1 year maternity leave. But last 2 weeks, a pregnant lady in my work, she was so happy that she's going on her maternity leave, and meanwhile, she will be delivering in July. This is a country whereby the first day you took in, you have to let your employer, and other staff know that you are pregnant so that they wouldn't be bothering you much with, they will be giving you light roles to do, despite that the jobs we do here as carers are not much tedious, but at least Oyibo foreigners, they consider all this very tedious. So you have to let them know so that they prevent you from hazard or assigning you to a difficult patient. So this lady, she went on her maternity leave already before, as in 2 months to her delivery. So she'll be getting paid 1 full year maternity leave, though there is a way it works. First 4 months, you get full payment. From that 5th month till about 10th month, you get half of your monthly salary paid. And I think for the rest of the 2 months, making it that 12 months, you might not be getting paid for it. So this is basically how it works. But it's still fantastic that you are getting a year annual leave, but working for an agency, you get paid nothing. No maternity leave, nobody cares because you are not a fully employed staff. The next point is you having the choice of where to work and when to work. This is a fantastic benefit when it comes to working for an agency. Yes, though me, I'm honestly deciding switching to an agency for a reason best known to me. I might even share it in this content as this video progresses, because I am considering leaving my job very soon and, going to work for an agency. Because you choose when to work and when not to work. If an agency rings you up to say, Chinyere, would you like to come cover this shift in so place? If you're not available for it, or if you're not disposed to take off the shift, you kindly tell them that, sorry, I cannot do it. And if they send you to a place you do not like, a place that is very far up from you, you would be like, sorry, I cannot go. I recently registered with an agency, New Cross agency. I passed their interview and everything. But then I have been a bit reluctant sending them my documents and all this stuff because of the places they mentioned they have shift. They are quite far from where I am currently staying. So I wouldn't like to be traveling such far, though they said they would be paying £15 on transportation if I take the train. blah, 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 they're going to be paying, which they are not lying. Even ID medicals, they provide transportation money. But if you exceed 15 pounds, they're not going to pay you. They will only pay you 15 pounds or something lesser than that, you know. But I don't want to be traveling to a place where I would have to be on the road 1 hour, an hour, 30 minutes, I'm going to work. Coming back, I'll still spend an hour or an hour, 30 minutes on the road. I'm a family person, you know, so that's why I'm a bit reluctant, not sending my documents yet, but I'm still searching for another one, you know. But if you are a permanent staff in a company, know it that you work, I mean, when they make a rota for the week or for the month, like in my company, I've known what I would be doing in the next 2 to 3 months, just like my husband also, because you have a permanent, because you are a permanent staff, you know, so they make their roster or their rota ahead of time so that you know what you'll be doing in a week. Your time is planned, your schedule is planned, your activities, your shopping, your school run, and everything, and you are sure of working every week. Getting mortgage is easier when you are a permanent staff or a full-time staff with a company. It is easier because they know that your salary is stable. It's always going to come in at the end of the month, you know, so they will trust you that you have a stable job, stable income that flows in every month. But if you are an agency staff, you do not have a stable job, you know, because they know that your money does not come in every week, even every month. Even if it does, it is not stable, in the sense that this very month, if you're working for an agency, you might earn £1,000, and next month you might earn 800 pounds, you know, so it fluctuates when you are working for an agency. But as a permanent staff in a company, it is easier. They know that every month you are getting £1,000, £2,000, so they can easily give you mortgage. They are certain that you are going to pay. So having a stable shift in a week is also another point. Working for an agency, you are not certain of getting one single shift in a week. Yes, unless you register with 1 or 2 agencies, you know. Sometimes they might even call you when you are not available for the shift, or when it's not convenient for you to work, you might turn down the shift. So by the time you turn down 1, 2, 3 shifts in a week, you might end up not getting any shift from an agency in that entire week. But you getting a full-time job or as a full-time employee, definitely you are certain of working for a specific number of hours in a week. I am sure that every week I cover 21 hours. That is the minimum I can do for my company. Sometimes I work more than that. Yes, but the minimum I must do, I am contracted to work 21 hours a week, of which I do under 2 days. Saturdays and Sundays, and I am done. Now, the special thing again with working for an agency is that their pay rate varies. Agency A might be paying £15 per hour. Agency B might be paying different thing. And remember, working for an agency, if you work during the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, you get paid higher rate, assuming their pay is £10 per hour. An agency would definitely pay you about £15 per hour for denying your Sunday, you know, break, or Saturday holiday, and you choose to work for them, you know, so they pay you something higher. But some permanent employment, like where I am working, my per hour payment is constant. They don't pay you nothing. Even if you do night shift, it still remains the same. You work Saturday, Sunday, the same pay rate. It does not increase, it does not decrease. You know, it's crazy though. But with an agency, you earn higher. Bank holidays, they pay you ×2, which is fantastic. You know, and you make more money working for an agency compared to when you are doing a full-time job. Now, quitting your job is another point. Now, as a full-time employee to my company, if I want to quit my job, I would definitely give them 1 month's notice. I resign today. If I resign today, that means I would have to work for extra 1 month for them before I could leave my job finally, because they would want to recruit another staff to take my place before ever I leave. This is the rule. But with an agency, you don't even need to write resignation letter. You don't need to call them to say you want to quit. They just call you to do a shift. You just tell them, sorry, I cannot cover this shift today. Apologies, please. Sorry, I am not disposed to work. Sorry, I can't do a night shift today. Sorry, I can't do a day shift today. You are just the boss. They might even be begging you to please see if you can come cover the shift for them, because they also get paid higher from all these care homes. Right, so lastly, if you should ask me which one of these is better, I would say that both of them is better. Like I said at the intro of this video, it all depends on your circumstances of staying here. If you are a student, I would honestly suggest you getting an agency job because it's just 20 hours in a week that you'll be doing. So agency job should be better for you because you get to do the job when you are disposed to do it, when you are available for it. They call you when you are not disposed for it. You tell them that you cannot do it. And if you also get a contracted employment, full-time employment, you have to let them know because they might not ask you. Let them know that you are only limited to work for 20 hours. But bear in mind that once you take a permanent employment, your shift is absolutely constant for you every week. That 20 hours, they would give it to you every week. Mine is always constant. Even though I am not a student, I can work 100 hours a week if I want. But sometimes you consider the things around you, that is what limits most of us dependents from doing 100 hours or 1,000,000 hours in a week. But both of them are good. It's up to you to make a better choice which you would want. But I would also say the 21 hours I do as a permanent staff in my company in a week, if I do that with an agency, definitely I would earn higher. Yes, I would earn about 30% or 40% higher to what I earn in a month. So basically, agency is better in a way, but getting a full-time job is also something sweet and special because you consider all the benefits, that you can also gain while doing a full-time job. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. I sincerely appreciate your stopping by. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming for more.